Hi gang, welcome back to the Onery Latina. You know, today is a very, very sad day for me. I just found out that my Uncle Joe, who is my godfather, passed away the other day, and he was very sick with cancer. And of course, after losing my mom and my grandparents, and there's been so much loss lately, it's been unbelievable, that I told myself that I would never go to another funeral, and I just don't like doing them. And you know, I'll tell you, it's very difficult when you see, you know, the aunts and uncles and everybody get older and get sick. It actually sucks, and I feel so bad for my cousins who lost a very great man. I did a little tribute for my Uncle Joe today because he was such a great guy. Italian guy who married a Puerto Rican woman, much like my father. I don't know what it is about those Italians and Puerto Ricans, but they sure love to get together with, you know, at least the Italians love those spicy boricuas. And so growing up was really cool because he had 3 boys, and they had this fantastic swimming pool. We didn't have a swimming pool, so I wanted to go over there all the time. And I loved that place as a little girl because it had absolutely no rules, and we got to dunk each other in the pool, hold each other under. We got to wrestle in the basement, and you know, back when the WWW World Wrestling was famous, I mean, we literally like made ourselves a little wrestling rink in their basement and just threw each other down. And I was like the head thrower, but needless to say, those memories were just absolutely amazing, in a place and a time when kids were kids and we could ride our bikes and be safe and not worry about predators and really bad people trying to hurt us. And speaking about predators, you know, I get so tired of living in a country that claims they have a lot of rights, and yet when people are struggling the most because of a down economy, and it takes just maybe one thing like getting sick or experiencing some job loss or going through a difficult time, and then you are judged all of a sudden by all these people on your credit score, and then they jack and hike and gouge up everything accordingly. And I just, you know, get so sick of it because, you know, you have these illegal aliens bailing out on their bills and not paying for jack, and then getting stuff for free at our expense, and we're paying like all this money in taxes that we'll never see. You know, our Social Security, like for example, is one of them. So there's going to be a time when there's supposed to be a payoff, and we're going to be so bankrupt that we'll not be able to pay anything. And you know, we don't really do things very fairly. And so, you know, if you're going to tax somebody for bad credit, why don't you tax somebody for being overweight? Okay, you know, okay, this is even worse. You're really irresponsible if you're overweight. If you're grossly overweight to the point that you're taking up 2 seats in the airline seat, if you're consuming so much food that you can't even walk and you have to sit in a wheelchair, because, you know, that is just as irresponsible as getting poor credit. And so would you even think about penalizing somebody with cancer, you know, or with, you know, tragedy in their family? No, you shouldn't, but yet you do. And people end up going bankrupt because of hospital bills and hidden expenses and just being gouged by the creditors. We're not a country of compassion anymore. We have all this legislation that federally mandated. Like, for example, I was really floored when I found out that IDEA, Individuals with Disabilities Act, was just an act. Did you know that they put this act together, Ted Kennedy and Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama? And this act, I have to, you know, is unbelievable. I'm going to tell you about it in just a minute. You notice I'm drinking carrot juice in the gauntlet glass. Yeah, it's a wine glass, but I like it that way. Anyway, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Ted Kennedy puts together this IDEA, and they fund it federally at 7%. And for the love of God, why even have all these legislations out there to advocate for kids with disabilities if you're not going to fund it? But mandate that you implement everything, or you get sued. So Congresswoman Darlene Hooley was in charge of that back home in Oregon. And she was a former school teacher. And when my son's IEP was cut, I contacted the Congresswoman. She's such a sweet lady. And she fought on my behalf and actually driven up the percentage of what they were paying into that, which went from 7 to 17%. And suddenly she had to step down because of health issues. But what's interesting is that, you know, these legislatures, if they actually do the right thing, the good ones get driven out. Darlene Hooley was a good one. I can call the office anytime, get a call back, my power's out, a week goes by, you know, a few hours after a call to Darlene Hooley, my power's back on. Darlene Hooley didn't care if I was a Republican. She didn't care if I was Hispanic. She didn't care if I had an attitude problem. She didn't care if I disagreed on a certain policy. Darlene Hooley, a Democrat, was a human being. She was a good woman. And so I get really sick and tired of the partisan stuff, because you have some really, really crappy Republicans and you have really, really crappy Democrats. And the people that are actually human and actually good people that actually do good things are those people that get weeded out really fast, and then all we're left with is the scumbags. So, you know, I think we all should vote for Dee Velez for office, because I'm not a scumbag. You know, I'm a good person, a good human being. And although I have a potty mouth, and I tell you, if somebody ever comes up to me ever again to threaten me over legislation I push, I'm not going to say anything to them. I'm just going to punch them square in the face. I am going to hit them so fucking hard. And it will take one time of me punching somebody square in the face, and nobody will mess with me again. Why? Because I'm the Onery Boricua, and I don't take any crap off of anybody. And if you like this video, please forward it on, share it with all your friends, and we need to hold these people accountable. I'm not going to take any crap off anybody, and I hope you guys don't either. And I wish you the very best Friday. God bless. Bye, guys.